You wake up early, you try to eat clean, you don't smoke, you don't drink much, you even go for walks or exercise a few times a week. So when the doctor tells you your blood pressure is high, it feels confusing, frustrating, and honestly a little unfair. Most people believe high blood pressure only happens to people who eat junk food all day, never move, and don't care about their health. But the truth is very different. Every year, millions of people who look perfectly healthy, who feel fine, and who live what seems like a good lifestyle, are shocked to find out that their blood pressure numbers are higher than normal. And what makes it even more dangerous is that high blood pressure usually has no clear symptoms. You can feel normal while damage is slowly happening inside your body. That's why today we're talking about something most people never hear from their doctor: why healthy people still have high blood pressure, and the hidden reasons that can quietly push your numbers up even when you think you're doing everything right. First, you need to understand that blood pressure is not controlled by just one thing. It's not only about salt, and it's not only about weight. Your blood pressure is affected by your hormones, your sleep, your stress levels, your gut health, your genetics, your nervous system, your kidneys, and even the time of day. So someone can look healthy on the outside, but inside the body there may be small imbalances adding up over time. These imbalances don't always make you feel sick, but they can still raise your blood pressure little by little until one day the reading at the clinic surprises you. One very common reason healthy people have high blood pressure is hidden stress. Not the kind of stress where you feel panicked or overwhelmed, but the quiet, constant stress that never fully goes away. Your body has a stress system called the fight or flight response. When this system turns on, your heart beats faster, your blood vessels tighten, and your blood pressure goes up so your body can react quickly. This is normal for short periods. The problem happens when the stress response stays on for too long. Many people live in this state every day without realizing it. Work pressure, family responsibilities, financial worries, lack of rest, too much screen time, and even overthinking can keep the nervous system slightly tense all the time. When that tension never fully turns off, the blood vessels stay tighter than they should, and over time this can lead to high blood pressure, even in people who exercise and eat well. Another hidden cause is poor sleep, and this one surprises a lot of people. You might be going to bed every night, but that doesn't mean your body is getting the deep, restorative sleep it needs. During healthy sleep, your blood pressure naturally goes down, your heart rate slows, and your body repairs itself. But if you sleep late, wake up often, use your phone in bed, or don't get enough deep sleep, your body stays in a more alert state. Over time, this keeps your blood pressure higher than normal. Some people also have sleep apnea without knowing it. This happens when breathing stops for short moments during sleep, causing the body to wake up again and again. Each time this happens, the blood pressure rises. A person with sleep apnea can look fit and active, but still have stubborn high blood pressure that doesn't improve until the sleep problem is fixed. Hormones are another reason healthy people can struggle with high blood pressure. Your body uses hormones to control how tight or relaxed your blood vessels are, how much salt your kidneys keep, and how your heart works. If hormones are slightly out of balance, blood pressure can rise even if your lifestyle looks good. For example, high-stress hormones like cortisol can keep the body in a constant alert mode. Thyroid problems can change heart rate and blood pressure. Insulin resistance, which many people have without knowing it, can also make blood vessels less flexible. These changes can happen slowly, and because they don't always cause obvious symptoms, people think they are healthy while their blood pressure keeps creeping up. Another thing many people don't realize is that too much exercise can also raise blood pressure in some cases. Exercise is good for you, but the body needs recovery. If someone pushes hard every day without enough rest, the nervous system stays activated and stress hormones stay high. This can make blood pressure stay elevated instead of going down. People who are very disciplined with workouts sometimes ignore signs of fatigue, poor sleep, or constant soreness, thinking they just need to train harder. But the body needs balance, not just effort. Overtraining can quietly keep blood pressure higher than normal, even in people who look very fit. Diet is also more complicated than most people think. Many healthy eaters avoid junk food but still consume things that can affect blood pressure. Too much caffeine is one example. Coffee, tea, energy drinks, and even some supplements can stimulate the nervous system and raise blood pressure, especially in people who are sensitive to caffeine. Another hidden problem is not getting enough potassium, magnesium, and other minerals that help blood vessels relax. You can eat clean but still miss important nutrients if your diet is limited or unbalanced. Processed foods are not the only problem. Even healthy diets can cause issues if they don't give the body what it needs to keep blood pressure stable. Salt is often blamed for high blood pressure, but the truth is, not everyone reacts to salt the same way. Some people are salt sensitive, meaning their blood pressure goes up easily when they eat salty foods. Others can eat more salt without a big change. The problem is that many healthy foods still contain hidden sodium, especially sauces, packaged snacks, bread, and restaurant meals. A person may think they eat healthy, but their daily sodium intake may still be higher than they realize. When this happens, the body holds more fluid, the blood vessels feel more pressure, and the numbers on the blood pressure monitor go up. Another hidden factor is genetics. Some people inherit a body that is more likely to develop high blood pressure, even if they live a good lifestyle. This does not mean you are powerless, but it means you may need to pay closer attention to things like stress, sleep, and diet than someone else. Many people feel discouraged when they hear this, but understanding genetics is not about giving up. It's about knowing your body may need extra care to stay in balance. Dehydration is another reason that surprises people. When you don't drink enough water, the blood becomes more concentrated, and the body releases hormones to hold on to fluid. These hormones can tighten blood vessels and raise blood pressure. Many people who think they drink enough actually don't, especially if they drink a lot of coffee or tea during the day. The body needs plain water to keep circulation smooth. Even mild dehydration over time can make blood pressure readings higher than they should be. Gut health also plays a bigger role than most people expect. Inside your digestive system live trillions of bacteria that help control inflammation, metabolism, and even blood vessel function. If the gut is out of balance because of stress, poor diet, antibiotics, or lack of fiber, it can lead to low-grade inflammation in the body. This inflammation can make blood vessels less flexible, and when blood vessels are stiff, blood pressure goes up. A person may look healthy, but if their gut health is not good, their blood pressure may still be affected. Another reason healthy people get high blood pressure is that they only check it at the doctor's office. Some people have what is called white coat hypertension, where blood pressure rises because of anxiety during the visit. Others have the opposite problem, where their blood pressure is normal at the clinic, but high at home due to stress or poor sleep. This is why regular monitoring is important. One reading does not tell the whole story. Blood pressure changes throughout the day depending on what you eat, how you sleep, how stressed you are, and how active you have been. Age also plays a role, even in people who stay active. As we get older, blood vessels naturally become less flexible. This means the heart has to push harder to move blood through the body. Even someone who exercises and eats well may notice their numbers slowly rising with age. This does not mean you are unhealthy. It means the body changes over time, and those changes need attention. One more hidden cause is sitting too much. You can exercise every day but still spend most of your time sitting at work, in the car, or at home. Long periods of sitting slow down circulation and affect how blood vessels work. The body was designed to move often, not just during workouts. Small movements throughout the day help keep blood flowing smoothly and help control blood pressure. The important thing to understand is that high blood pressure is usually not caused by one big mistake. It is often the result of many small things adding up over time. A little stress, a little poor sleep, a little dehydration, a little hormone imbalance, a little too much caffeine, not enough recovery, not enough minerals, not enough movement during the day. Each one alone may not cause a problem, but together they can slowly push blood pressure higher. The good news is that once you know these hidden reasons, you can start to fix them. You don't need extreme changes. Sometimes improving sleep, managing stress better, drinking more water, getting enough minerals, and allowing your body to recover can make a big difference. The body wants to stay in balance, but it needs the right conditions to do that. Many people feel scared when they hear they have high blood pressure, especially when they thought they were healthy. But this is not the end of the story. It is a signal from your body that something needs attention. When you listen to that signal early, you have a much better chance of bringing your numbers back to a healthier range and protecting your heart, your brain, and your blood vessels for the future. And the most important thing to remember is this: looking healthy and being healthy are not always the same thing. Real health happens inside the body, in the small systems you cannot see. And when those systems are in balance, your blood pressure, your energy, your sleep, and your overall health all start to improve together. So continuing from everything we've just discussed, there's another factor that often flies completely under the radar when it comes to high blood pressure, and that is chronic dehydration. Most people think dehydration is only a problem if you're running a marathon, working outside on a hot day, or you've been sick and vomiting for hours. But the truth is, dehydration can be subtle, persistent, and completely hidden, and it can have a massive effect on blood pressure even in people who otherwise look healthy and take care of their bodies. You might drink a cup of coffee in the morning, have a glass of water with lunch, and then a soda or tea in the evening, thinking that's enough. But if your body isn't getting enough plain water consistently throughout the day, your blood pressure can start creeping up without you ever noticing. The way it works is really interesting. Blood pressure is essentially the force of blood pushing against the walls of your arteries. Your blood is mostly water, and when you don't drink enough, the blood becomes thicker and more concentrated. This makes the heart work harder to pump it, and the blood vessels respond by tightening to maintain flow. Over time, this constant strain can slowly increase blood pressure. It's a hidden mechanism because it doesn't cause the typical signs people associate with dehydration, like feeling extremely thirsty, dizzy, or having a headache. Chronic dehydration is often subtle. Maybe you just feel slightly tired, a bit sluggish, or you notice that your urine is darker than usual. These small cues are easy to ignore, but your body is already compensating internally in ways that elevate blood pressure. Another factor is that dehydration triggers the release of hormones like vasopressin, also called antidiuretic hormone, which tells your kidneys to hold on to water. This makes sense from a survival perspective. If you're dehydrated, your body wants to conserve fluid. But a side effect is that your blood vessels constrict slightly, which increases vascular resistance, and that directly contributes to higher blood pressure readings. Chronic, low-level activation of this system, day after day, week after week, can keep your blood pressure elevated, even if you feel fine. Most people don't realize that their body is in a constant state of mild fluid stress, and the cumulative effect over months and years can be significant. It's also important to understand that dehydration doesn't just affect blood thickness or hormone levels. It also affects the balance of electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium. These minerals are essential for healthy blood vessel function, heart rhythm, and fluid balance. When you're dehydrated, the concentration of sodium can rise, and this can cause the body to hold even more water in an attempt to dilute it. This fluid retention, combined with the constricted blood vessels, makes blood pressure go up. Even people who avoid salt in their diet can experience this because it's not just about dietary sodium. Hydration levels determine how effectively the kidneys can manage and balance electrolytes. So someone who drinks only occasionally or relies heavily on caffeinated beverages might be unknowingly stressing this system daily. Caffeine itself is another complicating factor because it is mildly diuretic. That means it causes your body to excrete more water through urine. If you're drinking coffee, tea, or energy drinks, but not compensating with enough plain water, you can be creating a subtle, chronic dehydration problem. Even athletes who drink sports drinks can fall into this trap if the drinks contain sugar or caffeine, but not enough plain water. It's not just about quenching thirst. It's about maintaining proper fluid levels consistently throughout the day to support normal blood pressure regulation. Another layer to this is the connection between dehydration and kidney function. The kidneys are central to controlling blood pressure because they regulate fluid volume and sodium balance. When the body is dehydrated, the kidneys work harder to retain water, which can raise blood pressure over time. If dehydration happens frequently, even mild dehydration, the kidneys may experience stress that can impair their ability to manage blood pressure efficiently. In healthy people who think they are doing everything right, this hidden strain on the kidneys can silently contribute to hypertension. Over time, this chronic stress can make the kidneys more sensitive to even small changes in fluid intake, meaning that your blood pressure could spike from what seems like a minor reduction in water consumption. One of the sneaky things about chronic dehydration is that people often misinterpret the signs. You might feel slightly tired and think it's from not sleeping well, or slightly foggy and blame it on diet. But many of these subtle feelings are actually related to low hydration. When your cells don't have enough water to function optimally, your cardiovascular system has to compensate, your blood vessels constrict, and your heart pumps harder. Your body is essentially working in overdrive to maintain balance, and blood pressure rises as a consequence. This effect is particularly important for people who exercise regularly. Sweating during workouts removes water from the body. If you're not replenishing it adequately afterward, your baseline hydration level can drop over time, leading to persistent, slightly elevated blood pressure, even if your heart and blood vessels are otherwise healthy. Age also plays a role. As we get older, our sense of thirst decreases, and the body's ability to conserve water efficiently diminishes. This means older adults can become chronically dehydrated more easily than younger people. Even healthy, active individuals can be affected because the subtle signs of dehydration are often missed, and the resulting increase in blood pressure can go unnoticed for years. In addition, many older adults take medications that can increase fluid loss or alter kidney function, making proper hydration even more critical for maintaining normal blood pressure. Chronic dehydration also affects the nervous system. When fluid levels are low, blood pressure sensors called baroreceptors can become less sensitive, meaning the body doesn't regulate pressure as effectively. This can create a cycle where blood pressure stays higher than it should, and the body keeps compensating in ways that stress the heart and blood vessels. Even small fluctuations in hydration can therefore have a larger impact on blood pressure in people who have been chronically dehydrated over time. It's not just the direct effects on fluid and electrolytes. Dehydration can also increase inflammation in the body. Studies show that low hydration status can trigger the release of inflammatory markers. Inflammation makes blood vessels less flexible, and stiff blood vessels raise blood pressure. So dehydration indirectly contributes to hypertension through this inflammatory pathway as well. Even in healthy individuals who eat well and exercise, failing to drink enough water can slowly promote this hidden inflammation, which the person may never notice until blood pressure readings start creeping up. Another hidden effect is that dehydration reduces blood volume slightly. When blood volume drops, the body's nervous system responds by activating mechanisms to maintain adequate circulation. These include constricting blood vessels and increasing heart rate, which both contribute to higher blood pressure. Over time, repeated cycles of even mild dehydration can make these compensatory systems more active than they need to be, which can keep blood pressure elevated in a steady, chronic way. The problem is compounded because many people don't realize that thirst is an unreliable indicator. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already mildly dehydrated. Daily routines, work schedules, and lifestyle habits often lead to prolonged periods without drinking sufficient water. Office environments with air conditioning, long commutes, and reliance on caffeinated beverages all contribute to this hidden dehydration. Healthy-looking individuals who feel generally fine might therefore be walking around in a state of subtle fluid deficiency that is quietly affecting their blood pressure. Electrolyte imbalance due to dehydration is also a critical factor. Sodium, potassium, and magnesium play major roles in regulating vascular tone, the contraction and relaxation of blood vessels. Low fluid levels disrupt this balance, which can make blood vessels more prone to constriction. Even minor imbalances, when chronic, can contribute to a persistent elevation in blood pressure. This explains why some healthy people can follow a clean diet, exercise regularly, and still experience high blood pressure, because the body's fluid and mineral balance has not been optimized. Another overlooked factor is that dehydration can interfere with nutrient delivery to cells. Blood carries oxygen, minerals, and other nutrients throughout the body. But when the blood is thicker and volume is lower, circulation is less efficient. Cells, including those in the heart and blood vessels, don't get nutrients as effectively, which can impact vascular function and raise blood pressure indirectly. Chronic dehydration creates a subtle but ongoing strain on the cardiovascular system that most people never associate with simply not drinking enough water consistently. It's also worth noting that dehydration interacts with other hidden causes of high blood pressure we've already discussed. For example, stress hormones like cortisol are elevated in people under chronic stress, and dehydration can amplify their effect on blood vessels. Sleep deprivation, which affects hormone balance, can worsen the vascular response to low hydration. Poor gut health, which influences inflammation, can be exacerbated by dehydration as well. All these factors combine to create a scenario where blood pressure is elevated, even in someone who appears outwardly healthy and active. Preventing this hidden contributor to high blood pressure doesn't require drastic measures, but it does require awareness. Drinking water consistently throughout the day, monitoring urine color, adjusting fluid intake for activity levels, and paying attention to subtle signs of mild dehydration are all simple but effective strategies. Replenishing electrolytes when necessary, avoiding excessive diuretics like caffeine without hydration, and understanding your individual needs based on body size, climate, and activity are critical. Chronic dehydration also has cumulative effects. A single day of low fluid intake might not make a big difference, but months and years of not drinking enough can gradually elevate baseline blood pressure. It's one of those hidden lifestyle factors that builds quietly and silently, often without any obvious symptoms, until blood pressure readings at a routine check reveal that something has been going wrong for a long time. The relationship between hydration and blood pressure is also influenced by the environment. Hot climates, air-conditioned offices, long flights, or high-altitude locations can all increase fluid loss through sweat and respiration. If water intake doesn't match these losses, chronic dehydration can develop. Even healthy people who are otherwise careful about diet and exercise can experience elevated blood pressure because they fail to compensate adequately for these environmental factors. Hydration timing matters too. Some people drink a large amount of water all at once, thinking it's enough for the day. The body does not retain water this way efficiently. It's better to drink consistently throughout the day to maintain stable fluid levels. Skipping water in the morning, waiting until you're thirsty to drink, or relying on caffeinated beverages as your primary source of fluid can all contribute to mild chronic dehydration. Over time, this subtle fluid deficit affects blood vessel function, heart workload, kidney regulation, and ultimately blood pressure readings. Finally, it's important to understand that correcting chronic dehydration can have a meaningful impact on blood pressure. Many studies and clinical observations show that increasing water intake, especially for those who are mildly but consistently dehydrated, can help lower blood pressure over time. This is particularly true when combined with other lifestyle measures like stress management, balanced diet, proper sleep, and regular movement. Hydration is not a replacement for medical care, but it is an often overlooked pillar of cardiovascular health that can make a real difference, especially for people who appear healthy yet struggle with high blood pressure. Chronic dehydration is stealthy because it rarely causes dramatic symptoms, but its impact on blood pressure is powerful. It affects blood volume, vessel tone, kidney function, electrolyte balance, inflammation, nutrient delivery, nervous system regulation, and interacts with other hidden factors that elevate blood pressure. Understanding this hidden effect and taking practical steps to maintain proper hydration consistently can help stabilize blood pressure, support overall cardiovascular health, and reduce the hidden risk that healthy-looking individuals may be carrying every day without even realizing it.